On hand, the University of Michigan's index on how consumers feel about the economy slipped again in August, now at 58.2, down from 61.7 in July. The report found worries about inflation and concerns over future personal finances weighed heavily on households. Other data shows the U.S. consumer isn't rolling over just yet. Spending remains resilient, unemployment is low, wages are growing. Add in stock market, that's holding steady, and signs of cooling inflation in select areas like prescription drugs, medical care, producer prices, and even mortgage rates. Let's bring in David Stryzewski, CEO of Sound Planning Group. David, happy Friday. So what happened with the consumer sentiment? What do we have to reconcile this pessimism with?
Well, I think that the 18 to 34-year-old group is the one to really be paying attention to. Generally, young people are more optimistic. They've got their future ahead. They're going to school. They're looking at careers. They're getting their first car. They're looking at a home. They're getting married. They're more gloomy right now than almost any other time that they've actually been, polled in the past. And so this is an interesting time right now in history. Why? Because credit card debt is at record highs. North of 20%, that's expensive. It's hard to get out of. Less jobs available right now. And of course, paycheck to paycheck Americans are just getting stretched too far. I mean, this feels a lot like stagflation. So, we're sort of like, driving down the road with the gas lights on, and Washington is telling us that, the tank's full, but Main Street's feeling like it's more empty.
I mean, but you are seeing some prices go down in certain key areas like prescription drugs, medical care, producer prices. Mortgage rates even went down. We'll get to that in a moment, but it's a mixed bag. From what you're seeing, what's the real pulse of the economy right now?
I think that a lot of consumers are doing okay, but I feel like, the smaller consumers, like probably 80% of our economy, are really struggling. Mm-hmm. And so, there have been really positive points of sentiment here, especially with, the known direction now post the election last year, and some of the moves have been made. But there is so much that's kind of up in the air. No one really knows what's up and what's down. And I mean, if I could just be honest, you add in like devastating assassinations like Charlie Kirk, which, you and I were going to be talking just prior to that happening. Right. And I'm really thankful that the segment didn't go, because that was very difficult for me. Mm-hmm. No American feels confident in their country when freedom of speech is silenced by violence. Right. I mean, this is a time for healing and returning to core rights and values here. But, the average person is feeling less represented right now, I believe. And so I think some of that's coming out in that 18 to 34-year-old group. But generally speaking, if you've got, good money, you're making over $100,000 a year, you're generally optimistic about where things are headed.
We were all attacked 2 days ago when Charlie Kirk was, so it's been hard to process. We're still healing. Freddie Mac says that Thursday mortgage rates actually tumbled, so that's some positive news, posting the largest weekly drop in the past year. Do you think that could shake the Fed's next move in a few days?
Well, mortgage rates are really important, and this is the average consumer's, greatest nest egg is their home. And so the thing that we have since 2022, where we were at those record low interest rates, is that we've increased now about 4% from where we were before. And so I like to just share with people that every 1% that rates rise, you either have to make 10% more income, or the value that you can borrow is 10% less. So 4% higher, $1 million that you could borrow before at that same income is now $600,000. And so we need to get those rates down in order to afford the homes at the rate that everyone wants to sell them at, and people have been historically selling them at. So yeah, love to see that moving in the right direction. Obviously, that really helps the average person that's trying to move, that needs to, do something different for their family that's growing, or maybe they want to downsize. And so, the housing market is sort of that last part of an economy before challenges happen. And today I will note that we really need some rate relief, because there's over 500,000 more homes on the market than there are buyers looking for homes today. So that's a real fact to be paying attention to.
David Stryzewski, CEO, Sound Planning Group. Thank you for joining me today, this Friday, my friend. We'll talk to you next time.
Pleasure's mine, Alicia. Thank you.
Thank you.